Here's a little taste of what's going on in the world today. Um, got these from the news. One was that in England they're having a logistics problem of getting food to these stores, and so a lot of stores are starting to run out of food on the shelves, and it was because they didn't foresee all the I guess foreign workers, the foreign truck drivers, um, moving back because they said some of them are from Burma or whatever. They moved back to Burma or whatever. I don't know if it was Burma or where it was, but they said that they, in any case, the British government didn't foresee it, and so now there's a potential of people starving in England, because they didn't take care of getting people working and doing. As a result of COVID, they lost a lot of truck drivers that moved out of the area. In America, where Southwest Airlines scheduled way too many flights and didn't have enough pilots or people to address the needs. Same thing in logistics. They didn't plan logistically how to do all of this, get all this stuff done. They just expected they had the workforce and they didn't. Um, Other things in the world that I remember. Oh, well, I saw this documentary on that in Mexico there is a side pandemic to the COVID, and that is that um, people in Mexico, because their water supply is so bad because they don't have proper sewage, um, rather than drinking the water in their villages, they drink Coca Cola all the time. And there are a lot of people dying from diabetes. There's a shaman in in Mexico City, according to this documentary, that had incorporated into her practice of ridding people of diabetes of giving them sugary Coke. And the person asked her, so what do you think causes diabetes? And she says, obviously it's arguments between people that cause diabetes. And he said you think it's the sugar, the sugar drinks? And she says no, it's completely ludicrous. It's the and she mixed um, mixed Christianity with like voodoo, and then added this as part of the remedy for the people. And so whenever they come in, she gives them a nice little cup of Coke, and they drink it, and then she espouses the virtues of this wonderful drink from Coca Cola that rids people of all sorts of disease, makes them feel good, and. And she was selling lots and lots of the soda. She had it packed up outside her door, and she had a big old refrigerator filled with it. And so the documentary I watched was called Unseen World. Is run by BBC, and I sent a message to them through their comment section, and I said, these advertisements you got on your videos, I can throw them on my website, and then you won't, and nobody will ever see the advertisements. And I've said time and time again, the reason why this is because um, YouTube can't put advertisements on embeds because um, they don't know, the advertisers have to agree with the context in which the website presents this content, and YouTube is the only context they agree with because they know what YouTube's going to do, and they don't know, they know YouTube will probably not put their advertisement in the context of other people besides them whenever they put the advert, so there won't be two advertisements on the page. They won't really know the context of YouTube, like what video it'll show up on, but they have some control over that. They can control that context. Like they can say, don't throw this video up in these contexts. But in the case of the web, the general web, YouTube by default doesn't permit advertisements on it, and I don't think they would put advertisements on embeds anyhow. But they can't do it by default because they can't review the context of every site where their video players put, and then they'd have to assess what kind of site that is, and then, you know, when ads were put up, they would have to make sure that it wasn't in some different context. Like, for instance, if you had a pro-choice website that had a pro-life advertisement in it, the pro-life guys would obviously not want it to be there, or the pro-choice people wouldn't want it to be there. But either way, it was going to be it was going to not gel so well with the people that had either the website or the YouTube embed inside their site. So anyhow, forgot why I went into that whole thing, but yeah, I was just pointing out to them, to the Unseen World guys, that probably should just not have advertisements on the video whatsoever. You know, I don't think these people really collect a whole lot of money from these advertisements, especially since their content probably doesn't even get that well seen. And I looked at this site, and that particular story only got about 20,000 hits. What are they going to make on it? Like $5-10? And I said another problem is that people might get distracted by it, so they might not see the rest of your story. They might just stop right in the middle and say, I don't have to put up with these advertisements. Another thing is, what if you get an advertisement that completely disagrees with the vision of your site? Maybe the person who's watching your video might get the idea that you're into advertisements, so therefore you care nothing for them, so they will not watch your content ever again, or they'll associate the advertisements, the seediness, the cheapness of the advertisement with your organization, and therefore your organization has been reduced to the seediness of the advertisement. There's all sorts of things that can happen there, and the people that put advertisements on these sites need to realize that you're not going to make a whole lot of money off of it, and putting them in there in the first place just proves how stupid you are, you know, to even think such. And so you're not going to be able to collect any kind of money off of it. It's going to be very little, if anything, because nobody watches that kind of video content on YouTube anyhow. So